Come along with me today as I get my homeschool planner ready for the month of February. We have some new things that we are going to be starting next week. I'm really excited to share with you how I've decided to do my weekly spread for this coming month to see if it helps me get a few things done a little bit better. Hi everyone, welcome to our homeschool table. My name is Jerilyn. I'm a mom of 3 kids, ages 10, 3, and 1. This is our 6th year homeschooling, and before I started homeschooling, I was a kindergarten teacher. So as you can imagine, I love checklists and planning and preparing things. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up if you like planning videos. So these are all the things that I am going to be using today. I have my friction pens here. I'm using the black erasable clicker pen. I really like to use these because inevitably I put something in the wrong spot and I want to erase it, so I like to use these. And then I also have these erasable highlighters. These are from Hobby Lobby, and I think the pack had 6 colors in it total. There's purple, blue, and yellow that go along with this. But I really like to use these. I like to change up the color scheme every month or every few weeks. So that's why I grabbed those today. And then I have my daughter's weekly checklist. This is new. I actually just did a video the other day about this, and I will link it up here and down in the description box for you. But I'm going to use this a little bit more in my weekly planning. And so I'll show you that in a little bit here. Then I have my goals sheet for 2025, and I have a few homeschool goals down here that I want to make sure and write in for my February goals. So now let's go ahead and open up the planner. I use the Sonlight planner that came with my History Bible Literature Level E order last year. This just has a monthly, very nice laminated divider tab. They're labeled on the sides, and they come hole punched, but I like to use my Pro Click binding system, and so I have punched them with my Pro Click and then bound it with my spirals. So this is where we're going to go ahead and start today with my February goals. So I'm just going to write in my homeschool goals here. So first of all, keep things simple. And this is just a good reminder that I like to have written down. And I actually like to write these here in my top 3 weekly goals because it helps me to just see them every day and make sure that that's kind of my mindset when it comes to planning and actually doing school. So I am going to write them down every month and on every page so that I don't forget. So my 3 main goals for homeschool are to keep things simple. I'm really good at overcomplicating things. So we're going to keep things simple, focus on relationships over whatever else it is that we're doing, and spread things out. So not sitting at the table for 4 hours straight. We've never really done that anyway, but I just want to spread things out throughout the day, let the kids go outside, go on a walk, things like that. Right now here in Oregon, we've had like 2 or 3 weeks of sun, which is pretty much unheard of. I mean, normally at this time of year, it's just solid rain every day. So we are supposed to get rain later on this week for at least the next week after that. So every time we can go outside, we are going to take advantage of that. Later on, sometimes I do use the checklist for the month, but often I don't really look much at this page. I focus on the weekly spreads. So I'm going to go ahead and start by filling out the monthly spread. And then I already know that I have a music class on the 3rd Friday of the month, so I'm going to write that in. And I have an event at church that I'm helping out with on this day. I really like the Sonlight Planner. It has just some nice little quotes and scripture throughout. It says, "To appreciate the beauty of a snowflake, it is necessary to stand out in the cold." And in February here in Oregon, we often get snow, which is usually January or February is when our snow happens. So that just kind of goes right along with that. And here is our first weekly spread. So this is going to be the 3rd. I like to put the number of whatever that day is, so that, I don't know, I just know what the date is. It's always helpful. I'm just going to go through and do all of the weeks here first, and then I will come back and do my weekly planning here. So here is the first week of February, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this out today. I really only plan about a week out because things change. We wind up, you know, how life is. You just change things here and there. So I only like to write in my planner about a week ahead of time. So this is my daughter's new weekly checklist, and the reason that I had to make a new one is because we are done with some language arts curriculum that we're using. We are finishing Christian Light Education Reading 5 and Fix It Grammar Level 1 this week. So next week, my daughter will be starting a new language arts curriculum. I have a video, 2 videos about that. I will link them up here and down below in the description box for you if you're interested. But I needed to make some new, I needed to make her a new sheet because things changed a little bit. I also wanted to add a couple of things like narrations and things like that and turn in her assignments because that's something that I often forget or she often forgets, and this will be helpful because she'll actually see it. But in the past, if you've seen any of my planning videos, you know that I usually don't write in all of the things on her checklist. But this week, I actually did that, and I think it's actually going to help me to help her get everything done when I can actually see every single subject that she should have done, and without having to look at her sheet, her and I can go through it together in the morning when we come to morning time, and then I keep a little bit better track of what she's accomplished. So I'm going to go ahead and write in all of these things here, and then I will talk about it a little bit more at the end. Okay, so over here on this side, I'm going to label this section morning time, and I'm going to come back after I fill out the rest to fill out the morning time section because that has to do with both my daughter and my son who is in preschool. So I'll come back to this part. Oops. And see, I already made a mistake. This is actually poetry, not nature. She alternates Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So nature and then poetry, and then nature and poetry. So I'm actually going to write those in first because then I won't mess it up later. Okay, and then Friday is a little bit different, so that's going to be a little bit more minimal. We school mostly 4 days a week. So on Fridays, she just has Bible, and then there's a book that she reads called Girl's Guide to Making Really Great Choices. And she just reads a few pages each Friday of that book. It's kind of something that I have her spread throughout the whole year. Okay, and then we do math on Fridays and language arts. However, I have told her that if she wants to do language arts a day early, that's fine, or she can spread it out. It's a 5-day curriculum. In the past, we've done language arts curriculums that are only 4 days a week, so that's why this will be a little bit different for her, so she can kind of choose week to week if she wants to get things done a little early. Let's see, she practices her Awana verses still, her gratitude journal, and then turning in assignments. So Friday is a lot more minimal as far as her independent work goes. Now I'm going to go through and write in the things that we're going to do for morning time. And this is going to be my daughter's subjects first, and then I will have a section for my son. So for morning time, we always start out with Bible, usually. However, I have decided that we are going to start out with narrations first while everything is still fairly fresh in her memory. Because as you can see, each of the days, she has at least 2 spots where she is supposed to do narrations with me. And so I'm going to write that in first, and that'll be the first thing that we do at the beginning of morning time. Now, sometimes, this is not very often, she winds up not doing any schoolwork before we do morning time. If for some reason we're doing morning time kind of early, or if she slept in super late because we had something late the night before. That doesn't happen very often, and she actually likes getting up and getting her work done when the little kids are still sleeping. So usually she has most of her independent work done before we ever come to morning time. Morning time for us is probably around 10:30, somewhere around there usually. We are not super regimented on times around here, so it's very flexible. But we're going to starting out with narrations. We actually tried that today, and it worked really well, so we're going to keep doing that. And then we will start on with our other things. So we're going to do the Bible from our Sonlight program. And I'm not going to write every detail in here about what we do for Bible because it's all in the instructor's guide. That is something that we do 5 days a week, the Bible portion at least, and we try to fit the history and read alouds and all of that into 4 days a week. So we kind of flex that schedule as well. But I'm going to write Bible. We also started a new little study today that is called Excuses Exposed, and it's a little 20 lesson unit study about excuses and not making excuses. And it's written by Rachel. She has a YouTube channel called 7 and All, and she has a company called Where'd You Learn That? And I've talked about that a couple of times here on my channel. She has preschool materials, kindergarten. She just came out with an ancient history program that looks amazing for elementary school that I will definitely be checking out. And anyway, so she has different studies, and we just started that one this week. And so we are going to be working on that 2 days a week. So we'll do Monday and Wednesday of that. Then we're going to skip a line down here, and we're going to work on any history. Now, I have had my daughter start doing some history readings more on her own than she had been doing. Normally, I was reading everything to her. And if you follow Charlotte Mason style at all, you might know that in kind of 4th and 5th grade is when she recommends starting to let your student have more independence in their school reading. So with the history books that we have right now in our Sonlight program, she's looking at a visual encyclopedia from Smithsonian along with the Usborne World Wars book. And so those are very picture heavy and not as much text. And so since there's only a couple of pages assigned per day, I'm just having her read those on her own. And so I just read the landmark history of the American people, which is a longer reading. So on days that happens, I read those. We also do geography, so all of the map work. And we also do timeline figures on Thursdays. I have them all pre-cut out in envelopes so that I can just grab. I have them labeled on the back what week they go to, so it's really easy. I can just grab them out of my working binder and go. And we have read aloud. And we don't do read aloud on Tuesdays because a friend of mine, or a few friends of mine, come over and we have coffee from like 11:30 or 11 till about 1:30 or 2. So we skip some things on Tuesdays because we have that. But I will put read aloud on the other days, and sometimes we do a little bit of read aloud catch up on Fridays. So I'm going to write that there. Let's see. Oh, up here in my daughter's section, we also have science. And if you look at her weekly checklist here, we don't do science on Mondays, generally. We do science on Tuesdays and science on Wednesdays, and then any of the activities that are left over we do on Thursdays. So I'm going to write those in here as well. And I'm going to actually write it up here in the, well, since we do it after morning time, I should put them down here. So I'm going to write science and we usually have time to fit this in before my friends come. So that shouldn't be a problem. And let's see if I've forgotten anything. Oh, typing on Tuesday and Thursdays. So we're going to add that up here, typing. And typing. Oops, I forgot math and Sonlight history over here. Okay, so now let's check. These N's, by the way, stand for narration, and I just need to remember to have her do those. So I'll probably give them a little highlight after I decorate a little bit. Okay, so I think that is about it for anything that I do with my daughter. Now I'm going to make a little section down here for my son. We are doing very minimal preschool. We are working on the transportation unit still from Rachel at Where'd You Learn That, or 7 and All. And yes, we are going very slow because he mostly just likes to look at the books. And we do the little activities maybe once or twice a week, but he really gets into the books, and he doesn't want to just have the books for a couple days. He wants to have them for a couple weeks, as long as we can check them out from the library. So we still have all the boat books, and then I have bus books because the next section is about buses. So we are reading those. But I practice his Awana verses because he's in Cubbies. So I'm writing Awana to help me remember to do that. And then I'm just going to write buses because that's what we will be on next week. I'm going to skip that on Tuesday since we don't have as much time. And then I was also going to start working on the Adventures with Books, a Rod and Staff preschool series book. And so I'm going to do that on Wednesday. I'm just going to call that R&S for Rod and Staff. And I'll write it on Thursday as well, just in case we don't get to it on Wednesday and we want to do something. They are very low-key little lessons. It's very basic at the beginning. I think it's about colors or something and coloring a picture. So we're going to work on that. And now I'm just going to write my homeschool top 3 weekly goals up here. So they were keep things simple, focus on relationships. And spread things out. Oh, I already thought of something that I forgot. Our enrichment studies. So here in the enrichment area, when we do Bible time, pretty much right after that, we do enrichment. So we do our hymn. And this last month in January, I was going to try doing one thing per week instead of doing each of the we do hymn study, picture study, and composer study. And the problem with that is that my son really likes to hear the hymn more frequently than just twice a week. And we have been a little behind on doing picture studies and composer studies. So I thought for now, at least in February, we're going to do hymn every day. And then we are also going to do a picture study. Oops, wrong day. A picture study. And then a composer study. And that doesn't take very long, you guys. This is something that we look up on Ambleside Online. We look at it on the computer because I don't have prints for that right now. And then this, we just click on the link from the Ambleside website and we listen to whatever it is that comes from YouTube usually. And then that's it. And we're studying Caravaggio right now for picture study. We actually did that today. And let's see, who are we? Oh, we're studying Vivaldi for composer. And those are all on the amblesideonline.org. I'll link it down here. So I think now that is it. If I've forgotten something, I will probably find it in the next couple of days. So this is what my weekly spread is going to look like. And now I'm going to give it a little bit of color. My daughter's favorite color is green, which so is mine, but we can't both be green, so I'm just going to let her have it. And so I'm just going to add some color. I've been liking to use the wide color in the last couple of weeks. It just adds a little bit more. I just am very simple about adding a little bit of color. I don't do stickers or anything like that. But this just makes it a little more fun. The little things in life, right? Okay, and then I'm going to add my son's color. He'll be orange this week. So I'm going to add his down here. And then morning time and things with me will be here in pink. Pink is definitely not my favorite color, but I like it just fine. Now I'm just going to go to here and leave science out. I'm actually just going to highlight science in green, my daughter's color, because then I won't forget to do it. I don't know why, but math and science around here are not on the top of my priority list. Math is math. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight these. These are pretty independent. It's just that she doesn't do it up here because the science, we do Apologia Zoology 2, which is Swimming Creatures of the Fifth Day. And she has the book, the textbook, and the notebooking journal, but we usually listen to the science on audio. And so she needs to be able to access that from my phone. And in the morning when she's in her room doing her school, she's not using my phone. So that's why we do it down here. But it's still independent, and usually she'll listen to it while she's making lunch or while I'm making lunch for the little kids or something like that. So that's why science is down here instead of up here. So here is my finished weekly spread, and this is all I'm going to do for now. I will work on the next weekly spread next week, and I think this will be really helpful so that I can be a little bit more diligent about making sure that she has each of her things done, because I can mark off once she kind of comes to the table and shows me what she has done, and then I can be on her a little bit about getting anything done after that, after we're done with morning time. So I think this is going to be great, and I'll be back next month to get my March planner ready, and I'll bring you along with me for that as well. Thank you guys for doing a little bit of planning with me today. I will be back just before March starts next month, and then you can plan along with me again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments about my planner or the things that I use or the way that I plan, let me know. I'm happy to make more planning videos. They are something that I really enjoy doing, and hope that they are beneficial and helpful to you. So let me know if you enjoy these types of videos. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today at our homeschool table, and we'll see you next time.